Lisa Reidsema with Craft Your Practice, and I'm a therapist like many of you. Today, we are at episode 5. Should you take insurance as a therapist? So, most therapists frame the insurance question as a values decision. It's not, it's a business model decision. And the structure of your practice, depending on which one you choose, I'm not here to tell you which is right. I'm here to walk you through what each option actually looks like. So, operationally, financially, and structurally, so that you can make this decision based on information instead of opinion, because there's a lot of opinion out there. And social media is full of people telling you insurance is evil or private pay is greedy. Neither of those is true. They're both business models. They both work and they just work differently. So let's break it down. What private pay actually means. Private pay means clients pay you directly. No insurance company involved in the transaction. You set your rate, collect payment at the time of service, and the money is in your account that day or that week. Here's what that gives you. Speed. You can start seeing clients as soon as you're licensed and set up. There's no credentialing process, no waiting for panel approval, no enrollment lag. If you have a space and EHR and a way for people to find you, you can see your first client next week. Control. You set your own fee. You decide your cancellation policy. You determine session length. Nobody is dictating your reimbursement rate or requiring pre-authorization for treatment. Simplicity. There are no claims to file, no EOBs to reconcile, no denials to appeal. Your billing workflow is straightforward. Client pays you, you document, done. Private pay also means this. You must generate your own demand. There's no built-in referral pipeline from insurance directories. Every client who walks through the door found you through your marketing, your referral relationships, or word of mouth. So if those systems aren't in place, your caseload won't fill on its own. You must hold your pricing. When a prospective client asks if you offer a lower rate, you need to have already thought that through when you're sitting across from someone who needs help and can't afford your fee. You need a plan that doesn't bankrupt your practice. So sliding scales are fine, but only if they're designed with a floor and a limit. Private pay is clean, but it requires you to build the engine that drives people to your door. So what insurance actually means? It means taking insurance means you become a credentialed provider on one or more insurance panels. Clients use their insurance benefits to pay for sessions. The insurance company reimburses you at a contracted rate. Here's what that gives you. Built-in demand. So when someone searches their insurance company's provider directory for a therapist in your area with your specialty, you show up. For many therapists, especially early in their career, panel directories are the single largest source of new client inquiries. It gives broader access. Insurance lowers the financial barrier for clients. People who couldn't afford $150 or $200 per session can sue you for a $25 copay. If serving a wider socioeconomic range matters to your practice, insurance makes that structurally possible. So potentially steadier flow once your panels and listed in directories, referrals can become somewhat passive. You don't have to market as aggressively because the directory is doing some of that work for you. But insurance also means this: the setup takes time. Credentialing is not fast. From application to your first insurance covered session, you're looking at 2 to 6 months per panel, sometimes longer. I made a whole video on that, so that timeline, and I'll link it once it's live. The point is, if you're planning to take insurance, start the credentialing process months before you need the clients. Your rate is not your rate. The insurance company sets your reimbursement. You don't negotiate it. In many markets, contracted rates are significantly lower than what you charge for private pay. So that means you may need a higher volume of clients to reach the same income. You take on administrative load, filing claims, tracking the reimbursements, following up on denials, managing authorizations, reconciling what was billed versus what was paid. This is real work and it's ongoing. So some therapists handle it themselves, some hire a biller. Either way, it's part of the model. So payment is delayed. You don't get paid at the time of service. You get paid when the insurance company processes and approves the claim. And that can take 2 weeks. It can take 6. It can take longer if there's a problem. So your cash flow is not immediate and it's cyclical and sometimes unpredictable. The real difference is this is not a morality question. It's a structure question. Private pay is a front-end model. The work is upfront: marketing, referral building, visibility, pricing, confidence. Once someone's in your office and paying, the back end is simple. Insurance is a back end model. The front end is easier. Directories bring people to you, but the back end is where the work lives: claims, follow-up, reconciliation, reauthorization. Both require effort. The effort just lives in different places. So private pay asks, can you build demand? Insurance asks, can you manage a billing operation? Neither question is harder than the other. They're just very different skills, and both are learnable. The timeline reality. Here's what I want to make sure that you understand. So especially if you're just starting out, private pay can start quickly. You can be seeing clients within weeks of getting your system set up, and there's no gatekeeper. The constraint is demand. So can you fill your schedule? Insurance takes months, not weeks, from the day that you submit your first credentialing application to the day that you can see your first insured client. You are looking at a real lag. And during that lag, you either need savings, a part-time agency job, or a small private pay caseload to bridge the gap. So this is where I see new therapists get into trouble. They assume that they'll take insurance, quit their agency job, and start seeing clients the following month. That's not how it really works. The timeline is longer than what you'd really expect or what anyone tells you. And if you don't plan for it, you end up financially stressed before your practice even gets started. So plan the bridge, whether that's savings, a part-time position, or starting with a few private pay clients while credentialing is in process. Plan it. The hybrid model, I should mention this because it's increasingly common, and I actually do it myself, and many therapists do both. So a hybrid model means you're credentialed with some panels and also see some clients at private pay rate. This gives you the directory visibility of insurance with the rate flexibility of private pay. It also means that you're managing two billing workflows. That's doable, but it's something to set up intentionally and not stumble into. So if you're considering hybrid, think about it as a design decision. How many insurance clients and how many private pay? What's the ratio that makes your income work and your schedule maintainable? These are math questions and they have answers. So you don't need to decide today. You need to understand what you're choosing between private pay and insurance are both legitimate models and they have different structures, different timelines, different daily realities, even. So the right choice depends on your market, your financial situation, and your tolerance for administrative work and your long term practice design. So if you're early in this and building in order, start with the starter kit. It walks you through the full sequence so that you can make this decision with context instead of pressure. So if insurance is on your radar and you want the deep dive on credentialing, billing, and getting paid, my book, Craft Your Practice, Credentialing, Insurance, and Getting Paid. And then there's also a workbook that goes with it. So, and that breaks down every step of what the process is like. And the links are in the description. And I will see you next week. Take care.